the county jail. Prison man was there and began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. Should have heard this knocked out jailbird sing. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody on the old cell block. Who's dancing through the jailhouse rock? Spotty Murphy played the tenor saxophone. Little Joe was blowing on the slide trombone. The drummer boy from Ellen on the crash boom bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody on the old cell block was dancing through the jailhouse rock. Use a wooden chair. Let's rock it. Everybody, let's rock it.
Everybody on the old cell block was dancing in the lounge rock, yeah.
Signify your feelings with every gentle caress, because it's so important to have that special somebody to hold, to kiss, to miss, to squeeze and please. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody. Someone to love.
special bulletin.
Turn on, tune in, and rip the knob off.
Fair job. Not.
Away.
Because it's time to kick back and relax in the most happening hotel in the world.
We're not stereotyping.
Don't stay in the dark. Whatever you want, we've got it. Television with a big attitude.
Next, funny business.
Come on, Cole, check back. 50, 50, 50. 50, 50, 50.
What kind of society do you want to be part of? One that shares your values? A society that believes in sharing its success. Not with shareholders. There are none. But shared with the people who deserve it most. Its members. And not simply with a one-off payment, but with a loyalty bonus shared out each and every year.
Every year?
Is this the kind of society you want? Then join us. Call 0800 44 3322. Britannia. We are the sharing society.
Have a great birthday, Tony.
Happy birthday, Tone. On me head.
Happy birthday.
It's true. He's 40. Happy birthday, Tony.
Tony, from one old tiger to another, happy birthday.
Kellogg's Frosties. They're great!
Tone. You've got a lovely set of teeth.
Jean-Paul? Pourquoi aimez-vous les M&Ms?
Ooh, but I can speak English, you know? The cheeky chocolate, those crazy colors.
What about the peanuts?
They are so crunchy, naughty.
Don't you mean nutty?
Nutty, naughty, same thing. You naughty, naughty boy.
Oh dear.
Let's get out of here.
Pantene is one of the few shampoos in my office to make it into my bathroom.
Pantene, for hair that looks so healthy it shines.
Now, Orbit sugar-free gum is even more refreshing. An even cooler Orbit. An even fresher Orbit. Get the great fresh mint taste of today's Orbit. Now even more refreshing.
Even the smoothest moments improve with very special waves. Viennetta, soft ice cream between crispy layers of chocolate. Walls Viennetta, great moments come in waves. New summer fruits Viennetta, smooth ice cream between layers of tangy fruit crisp. Summer fruits Viennetta, new from Walls.
The one to watch. Now you can take Babe home with you.
Who, me?
Babe, rent the video now.
And now the focus is on comedy when Jojo Smith introduces an entertaining look at what makes us laugh. From news to reviews and stand-up, it's a funny business.
Business time. I'm Jojo Smith and you'll be riveted by what's on tonight's show. Tonight we've got the best funny business in the world ever. Golden moments from those classic conversations with 20 of our top turns. So let's remix the series. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Funny Business. And Jack.
Pleasure.
Hello, Jimmy.
Jojo, how are you?
Any chance of a drink?
Victoria, hiya. You,
that was a bit northern, yeah.
The man behind, Dennis Pennis.
John Thompson, one of the best actors.
Can I unmask you?
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Evans.
Jojo.
So, Lee, what are we doing in Tin Pan Alley?
Oh, that's a good question.
Writer, poet, actor, comedian, raconteur and wit.
I'm a little bit woo, a little bit wee, a little bit dodgy.
You have to be glamorous to be a top bitch.
But you can't be a slob to be a bitch.
What would you say, Simon, is the reason that it is such a huge success,
Good jokes.
Okay, well, this is a pool table with screens.
Right.
How are you, boys?
Still have me back for the same money?
Oh, absolutely. Still telling the same gags.
So, Nick, are you a big greyhound racing fan?
No, I thought it was going to be Bulgaria here at Wembley.
Bit of a gamble with the second series?
Charlie mentioned he played the drums.
That's a lie, I do.
So how old is he anyway?
Nearly 8 months.
Thanks for inviting me to your bedroom.
And his name is?
Charlie Blue.
The 50's a big thing for you.
Right, nice. It just happens to be my hair. You know, that's
The way
like
it
saying,
goes.
do you love the Supreme?
Oh, Alan, do you come here often?
Up to now, you've not really done an interview. Lady Di's done more interviews than you. You don't like doing interviews, do you?
No, I don't know. I just hate talking about myself. Well, I would never go on the Mrs. Merton show.
Yeah.
No,
Always yourself.
no, never.
You couldn't, could you?
No.
Doing the job you love. That's the main thing. You see, we don't need a load of dancing girls. All we need is a spotlight and a microphone.
Yeah.
And we're away.
This is John Lennon's piano you're playing, you know.
Is this John Lennon's piano?
This is John Lennon's piano, and he wants it back in an hour.
Right, well,
so...
this is appropriate for John Lennon's piano then. Well, imagine there's nothing.
It's great having your own pub. This is like a dream come true. You do 250 gigs every year.
Yeah. I've just...
Do you ever get fed up?
Well, there's something about live work that isn't duplicated by anything else. You get that buzz and also you get that instant feedback, you know.
So are you a huge fan of comedy then?
I am.
I'm a huge fan of comedy.
Really?
Right,
Who's your who's your favourite comedian? Is it?
Edwin Collins. I knew it was Glasgow, right? I knew there was some comedy going on in Glasgow, and I knew I had to be there, but I didn't know what time or where it was.
Very often, a gig is like a date. You know what I mean? You talk to them and you muck about with them, and you're trying to basically you're trying to impress them. That's what you're doing, exactly as you are on a first date.
Big pressure is that going to put on you guys then? Is that keep it like really?
£4 per square inch.
You sort of get in the town and go, is there any comedy on? Like that. You go, hey, it's comedy doing the club dinner, isn't there? So you sort of put on Dennis Club and you go like that, and they go, where the hell have you been? You're on stage now.
There's one in Birmingham where they didn't say you're on stage now, wasn't it?
Yeah, I turned up. I've done loads of them. Do you know what I mean?
All comedians go, well, I'll get a real buzz on stage.
You
and
never
I,
run it?
No, just looking at my watch, desperate to be off and thinking of the money. You know.
Is that something to do with you not getting a buzz, or just your material's been crap at the time? Are you a control freak?
Yeah, I think so. I think I was very focused on, once I decided that I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, I didn't want to do anything else because I thought it was such a difficult job to learn to do that I pushed everything else aside until I really felt I could do it. And it took me a long time because it's a hard job to learn, I think.
And I'm amazed because you're nothing like you are on stage. You're quite a real sweetie, aren't you? You're a little kitten.
I don't know. I think we all have a role to play up to a point. And I think that there's like a set comedy persona that most male comedians have, going right back to sort of Groucho Marx, Bob Hope, Woody Allen, which is the sort of, I'm a bit of a loser, I'm quite a funny bloke, I'm a coward, I don't get on with women, you know, they don't really like me and all this sort of thing. And I think it's just such a hackneyed old persona that most comedians have, and I'm not like that as a person, and I don't like to be like that on stage, and I think a lot of people see that and they think, wow, isn't he arrogant? And I think, well, everyone who's a comedian, everyone on TV is arrogant. They're saying, look at me, you millions of people listen to my thoughts. They're all arrogant. I don't think I'm any more arrogant than the others, but I just show it in a different way, I think.
But is it like a conscious thing, like, oh, I'm going on stage, I'll put my arrogance out?
No, it's not a conscious thing. I think also, it's, you know, going on stage is very cathartic, and you can come out of all the bile and nastiness you want to, and people will go, oh, he's only joking. But with me, they don't. They tend to think, God, what a spiteful young man he is.
I had a catchphrase which was kin K-I-N-E-L-L. Kin hell, I used to say.
And I used to explain it as a word called blinking-ell. I've left off the blink, you call it kin-ell. And you can please your kin self if you believe that, or whether you kin don't. But, and that was how I see it. Oh, you can't have him on, he's blue. The days I worked with strippers. I had a great time with strippers. I used to work in, I worked as a stepping stone in my career. Of course, when I worked with strippers, they weren't allowed to strip. They had tattles, and they used to bounce and make the tattles spin.
All right.
And they always had the Jack and Danny covered.
Why Jack and Danny?
Jack and Danny, the fanny. They
Oh,
always
right.
had the Jack and Danny. Sorry, I'm losing
I'm
you.
from up north, love.
Oh,
you know,
you're from
you-
north. Jack and Danny, the fanny.
The sex war, what do I need to say about that? Do you know what I mean? Ongoing sort of military strategies for me there.
I fancy those types, don't you? The
Troublemakers.
Yeah, don't you?
I used to. I've grown out of it now.
I know.
Got myself a nice man.
Well, I live with a nice man, obviously, but the ones I sort of lust after are shit.
Can't see your eyes, so can I unmask you?
Sure.
Metaphorically and physically. Feel all right? Is that okay?
Feel terrific.
Light, not too much. Where on earth did Dennis come from? This is the question we want to know.
What, geographically?
Geographically, mentally, physically?
Mentally, he came from a sort of little antisocial pocket in my brain.
You show up these celebrities for what they are, the majority of them.
Famous,
Whether they're
isn't
good
it?
sports or bad sports.
Mm.
And so, you know, people might say it's a bit unfair what you're doing, but do you think they deserve what they get?
Yeah, I think, you know, my job is basically rodding a drain. He's doing, someone's got to do it.
Right.
But I think I'm hard,
Yeah, but fair.
but fair.
The dino
And I only do it,
Robinson.
I only do them when they're looking for publicity.
Yeah,
I don't get
so
them
it's
in the
not you
park
going
when
in the
they're
houses,
walking
is
their
it?
dogs.
So
Although
fair
I
game.
might have to do that if I can't get in anywhere.
Claire's going. Where are you going, Claire?
I've had enough.
She's had enough. She can't bear us bitching carping anymore. She's far too nice. She's too sensitive for this. Richard doesn't care.
I couldn't care.
He's
heard
an
it all
old bitch,
before.
aren't you?
I've heard the whole lot.
I was a drag act for I run about 6 months of being a drag, maybe, no, more than 6 months, about 2 or 3 years. I used to go out and do hen parties and drag up.
Really?
Yeah, and drag up, and I was earning double money because I was the singer on the front half of the show doing all the Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be loved by... I was doing all of that in the first part of the show, and to the latter part of the show I was doing this dame strip, and then I'd do a cod strip. And this dear little old lady, and my missus will turn me out, she was there, and as luck would have it, and pulled my G-string down.
How did you come to have the character Mrs. Merton?
The voice was a friend of my mum's, borrowed my mum's dress and shoes, and funny enough, my granny had a wig that I used. Now I've got my own wig that they made.
And all, aren't they?
I know, it's unbelievable. Made out of real hair from dead old ladies.
There were certain areas that I wanted to tackle. My usual old standards of sort of blokes and what a nightmare they are.
So you are a bit of a king of comedy relationships, aren't you, Simon?
Remember Having Valley, which I also write, is about the dysfunctional, sad, you know, relationships not working because the men and the women don't sort of understand each other. It's about, you know, a woman has to choose between two men, and although I've never had to choose between two men, I have had to choose between two lovely women at various stages, as we all have. We all, come on.
You didn't mention that.
No, well, it's only, you know, coming out now under the heat of the candles.
That first feeling you get when you walk out and the light hits you and boom, you're on.
Your bowels stop. But, you know...
pick them back up?
Well, you got to pick them back
Second
up.
feeling?
Well, I don't know, they kind of desert your body. They sort of go, I don't want nothing to do with this. I got so nervous about doing stand-up, I used to have to have quite a few beers before I went on, and I used to be rubbish, and I used to have it written down on a beer mat. So every time I went to have a beer, I was actually looking at my set like that, going, oh. And then someone said, why don't you just learn it? And I went, I never thought of that.
You've got to manage your nerves. You can't go too nervous, and you can't go less nervous. You've got to get it just right.
One of my biggest breaks, and one of the most important things to me was I did Tonight with Jonathan Ross. It was very nerve-wracking because it was live, and I assumed that everyone in the world watched it because I watched it. It was terrifying, you know, and I kept thinking, what if I freak out? You know, you think, I've never freaked out before in my life, but what if I suddenly went, why are you staring at me? Like, you know, and I just thought I might freeze and go, Mum, or something like that.
In my first review, this is the voyage of the starship Red Dwarf. Its mission to boldly go where many comedies have gone before, up its own arsehole. Very at home in this part of the television anatomy is Craig Charles. Where does this man come from? Is he from a distant planet called Rent a Liverpudlian, or was he spontaneously generated by a TV screen? No matter, Charles in this series are heading for a sticky end. It's written by a girl called Mary Ann Downs. And her initials are MAD. Mad as a hatter.
So you don't let criticism bother you then?
My dad said, don't read it, weigh it. difficult to read it when you wipe your arse on it.
One bloke sort of just got up one night and said, look, you have a drink. Do you know what I mean? I went, thanks. Oh, that is got to be the worst. Especially when he sympathetic. Yeah, when they come out and it comes over the mic as well. You clap. And you go, oh, like that, you have a pint. You know what I mean?
People say it's an easy job, and it isn't. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, nor were you. I started off when I was 9 years of age with a fellow by the name of Clairol Levis Discovery, singing and whistling. The Whistling Wonder. With a bloke on a piano, playing a piano behind it. Now, they were cheap days, they were. But they were theatre, they were great.
More of the creme de la biz in part 2.
Anxiety? Anxiety is getting my waist back after having twins. I'm not getting rid of a few grey hairs. Clairol's Loving Care is gentle. There's no ammonia or peroxide. It's not forever. It washes out in about 8 shampoos. You get your own beautiful colour back, minus the grey. 6 kids, 2 dogs, 3 agents. That'll rattle your nerves. Loving Care? It's just a little box of hair colour. Loving Care from Clairol. You have nothing to lose but the grey. And for longer lasting grey coverage, try Lasting Colour by Loving Care.
The more unhealthy the environment becomes, the more you wash and dry your hair. But too much towel drying can leave it looking and feeling weak and unhealthy. So, for a head start and healthy-looking hair, I recommend Pantene.
Pantene contains pro-vitamin B5 that nourishes the root, while its advanced formula strengthens your hair all the way to the tip,
leaving it feeling and looking healthy and strong.
Pantene Pro-V for hair that looks so healthy it shines.
Have a great birthday, Tony.
Happy birthday, Tone. On me head.
Happy birthday.
It's true. He's 40. Happy birthday, Tony.
Tony, from one old tiger to another, happy birthday.
Kellogg's Frosties. They're great!
Tone, you've got a lovely set of teeth.
What kind of bizarre family did you come from, Jenny, to end up where you are today?
It was one of those sort of classic kind of army upbringings. My father was a spy, and that's true. And I'm quite exotic, in fact, and posher than people think.
My mother had a donkey and my father had a cockerel. Man used to lock me in a cupboard. Piss off out. Told me if I came down, Bonky would get me. That's one of the ghosts we had.
Hey, kid, I've just had 6 G&Ts, 2 slammers and a chaser, 4 spliffs, 3 E's and a couple of limes.
On Oasis, that's great spitting image material, a sibling rivalry.
Rock and roll!
A lot of pleading for attention, a lot of that. Yeah. And I had an older, thinner, very clever sister and a sickly younger brother. You can't compete with a sickly younger brother.
I used to be able to do impressions of my aunties, and Mum would say, Caroline, do Auntie Frances, do Auntie, and all that. So I'd do my aunties, and it's something, I'm sure it's only Irish, but whenever anyone comes, they go, we'll have fun, like that. I used to say, Mum, can I wear your dress? And then I'll be the queen and stuff. Yeah. And she'd say, get it out, and I'd wear her best clothes in front of her in the kitchen, and she'd never mind that.
So that's why you're shy, and I mean, your mum's just been pushing you all the time, hasn't she? She's been going, go and do Mrs. Merton.
I'd had a lot of training talking to lads on the work site and around a bench, and we were screwing pipe and welding pipe. If you heard this one, if you heard that one. And that gave me the confidence to get up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome Jojo.
So how did you get so good on the drums, Lee?
We used to play the bass for this band, you know, and then they said, you're crap, so get on the drums. And I'm just as bad, do you know what I mean? But it sort of got us through, really. And we was going to be the next Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, well, but we actually turned out to be the next sort of Pete Best.
Kenny Fordham was one of the great Shakespearean actors in the 50s. I mean, he did St Joan, George Bernard Shaw. Sid James made his mark in the 40s playing gangsters and heavies in British films. I mean, they were actors.
Between the age of 14 and about 16, I worked in a hairdresser's, just washing hair and sweeping up, making brews, putting rollers in.
But it was like, I thought it'd be like a way to meet women, you know, like sort of like shampoo, Warren Beatty, but it was all blue rinses. It's just the talking to people, you know, because a lot of people go and treat having a hairdo as like therapy because they really want to, you know, have a good long chat with you and your things you hear. It was like great character research.
I did drama at Liverpool Poly, and then I had a really big overdraft when I left, so I was doing temping, you know, typing shorthand, and I got a week at the BBC in Manchester.
I did stand up in the first place was to avoid doing some mundane job in an office for 8 hours a day.
You sat there hoping to be spotted one day by a passing producer or anything like that, or what?
No, I was desperate to be a researcher.
I was driving a lorry, and I was also doing a little bit of comedy during the night. So when I finished my work, I'd wash my hands and go out and tell jokes.
Adrenaline rush, man, it's better than drugs, you know, it really is. That kind of, you know, the kind of power you feel up there when you've got like full house. We sold out everywhere and you've got this full house of people and they've all paid to come and see you. Yeah. And you make them laugh. And they go away, they go home happy. I mean, it's a great buzz, isn't it?
Yeah. This last series of it really took off in such a huge way, so presumably there's going to be another one.
Yeah, I'm writing it now. Well, obviously not now, I'm being interviewed. But
How do you perceive your audience yourself? Do you think they're middle class or working class? Is there a mixture?
I think it's a mixture. I mean, people have got to have a certain income level to pay for a theatre ticket. So, you know, I think at either end of the scale.
No, I'm only joking.
You've got a bit of an obsessive fan following.
We've got about 1,200 people that we write to pretty regularly.
What, actually write yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's getting to the point where we can't really handle it anymore.
What are your fans like when you meet them?
Well, they all look like me, which is really depressing. And some of them come with berries on, you know. A lot of them are boys, so they don't look a lot like me. They just want to kiss you, usually.
Do they?
Yes. I'm quite happy to do.
They tell you when they think you're mucking it up, when it isn't up to scratch.
But as a fan club, I mean, they're...
Oh, we have conventions all over the world and all that kind of stuff, and they all dress up as the question is, and I what the answer is. You know, let's start in series 1, episode 2, he had his appendix out, but then again in series 4, episode 5, he had his appendix out again. How come he had 2 appendixes?
You get a lot of gay men as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, maybe they've just got a better sense of humour. We're all talking the same language somehow.
Well, you at the point where it's still a nice thing that happens to you.
Not loads of people going, oh, look, you know, I mean, like one bloke might come up and go, oi, do you do my post or something? When my wife's with me, because she sort of come all the way with me, do you know what I mean? It's sort of been from natural to some bloke going, oi, I know that key's there.
If I had a problem, I wouldn't go to one of them, I'd go to Bernard. Because Bernard knows more about life than anybody. So he can give you great counselling.
I've seen it all.
I mean, he's given me loads of good advice over the
I've
years.
lost 3 people this year, the worst year of my life. My mother, my eldest brother, and my youngest brother with a brain tumour, a multi-millionaire. Went everywhere. And, you know, I've got to go on that stage and make people laugh, and then go to another place and make people laugh.
Yeah.
And I've just buried my mother at 3 o'clock that afternoon. You see, the show's got to go on. People have bought tickets. They don't want to know about your troubles. They've got their own troubles. They've got their own brothers and sisters that's dying. No different than anybody else. I'm a grandfather, I'm a father. We have the same illnesses as everybody else.
Yeah.
And I got to know 10 minutes before my wife died, when my wife died, 10 minutes before, on a Saturday night before I went on stage there. She's on a cruise.
And you still went on stage?
I had to go. There's this place is packed. What do? Say, go home, everybody. It's terrible. Nobody knows, I'll tell you. Finest thing ever, my grandson, he wrote a thing, he said, this he said, this is what I want on your grave, Grandad. And I was there. He said, my grandfather has big fat arms, but when they hold you, you're safe. Felt lovely.
We lived in a council house in Liverpool, and we went to school. And the school I went to was Duffcott Secondary Modern, which was, and everyone in the class was thick, right? And I was just as thick as them. And the reason why we were that thick is because there was 65 kids in the class them days, you know. And by the time they called the register, it was playtime, so we learned bugger all.
Funny kid at school?
I'll tell you all the things I didn't do. I didn't use it as a defense mechanism. Lots of comedians will tell you, oh, they got picked on at school.
But I actually just, I was a shakedown artist, and I had no trouble getting money from other kids. And I was really funny about it, too.
We used to get all our comedy in the classrooms and all.
One of my favourites was the woodwork teacher, Mr. Macaulay. And he used to go, one of the 4 very important things about the woodwork room is safety.
Is it what?
Safety rules, which is safety rules. Safety rules. He had terrible bad breath, right? And when we used to do the leg, he'd go, and you want to give your wood a really nice burned effect, just get me over and I'll breathe on it.
I was a bit of a whore. I was tart, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I was a good Catholic girl.
Oh, no, I was a complete whore.
There's a fair bit in there which is like drawn from my adolescence, you know, when my parents were kind of booting me up to bed and following me around pubs and not letting me see blokes and all that sort of thing. So I've got my own back on them a bit.
Is Competitive Dad based on your dad?
No, my dad was nice, but it's a similar voice, but it's basically anal, uptight, sort of middle-class dad. It's the sort of dad that would not be frightened of someone who could actually really give him a good doing, you know, like a burglar. You know what I mean? He'd still try and fight the burglar, even if the burglar was like proper, full-on murdering, smacking burglar. He'd still like go, I will thrash you.
We all pretended to be characters from Swallows and Amazons, and I was Titty.
For the first and last time in your life.
I know.
Stunted me.
I never had bosoms even when I was pregnant.
Paul and I both got very small children, and when you have children, you're like driving around in a car, you'll say, oh look, a digger, or the moon. And then when you haven't got the children with you, you forget.
You still do it.
And you're driving with someone else having a serious conversation. Look, a digger! Look, the moon!
Because we've taken pictures of just about him doing everything. So we've got him vomiting, him kind of like dribbling, him crapping, pissing, everything. So basically, there's any kind of like, any lip from him in later life, they're out.
So you're going to carry this on as he grows up and get the first wet dream?
Yeah, we intend to really emotionally blackmail him so he's really stunted in later life.
Or are you glad that you had a girl?
I'm really glad I had a girl,
Yeah.
because obviously when she's a teenager, she'll be bringing home young men for me to road test for her. Yeah, it's like sort of having fresh bait on the end of your hook, isn't it?
You know, you see something happen, do you make a little note when you're sort of walking around the streets?
That. No, I mean, do think, because my brain's not big enough, like things sink in. You know what I mean? And then it'll come up later.
My comedy comes from where I feel awkward, you know. I mean, that's always, I think, if I feel awkward in a situation, I'll punt it out, and hopefully the audience will get some kind of recognition.
Taxi driver said something to me yesterday. He said, I'm bored. He was like that. It's a true story. He goes, I'm bored. Like that. And I said, oh, blimey, what's the matter? He said, oh, roads after road after road.
It's quite difficult because, you know, when you're sitting in front of a word processor, nothing seems funny. Whereas if you get in front of a food processor, everything seems great.
London Palladium was like, I was there 14 weeks, and then I did a Royal Command performance from there.
Yeah.
It's dead easy.
You used to do the mainstream circuit as well, didn't you, when you first started?
Yeah.
And obviously you did all the alternative circuit, and now you're doing this. But which would you say is the hardest? About the same, really. Yeah. Because, like, you know, when you're doing colleges and all that, you know, you're in front of the rugby team, and all they want to do is scrum down on your head.
The hardest work is going to Liverpool, because I got a Manchester lad going to Liverpool, and I have a go at him.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you that.
Well, I did
that
the same.
Bruno fight was over faster than a Scouser passing a job centre. They love me for that, and I'm going to go on.
Which do you prefer, TV or radio?
Well, they're different. Radio's really good because you get letters in and you can sort of respond to what people want and get them to do things and stuff.
It's a really, really brilliant medium to work in for comedy, much better than TV, and much better than stand-up in some ways as well.
Well, because it's more relaxed, because you just
And
sit
you haven't got an
around.
audience.
Well, that's the best.
So you can decide if it's funny or not yourself.
I have a go at me own
Manchester City.
I say that politician they found with a bag over his head, an orange in his mouth, and ladies' knickers and stockies on. He had a Manchester City kit on as well. But the police kept that quiet to save his family any further embarrassment.
There's so many classic conversations, we couldn't fit them all in one show. So tune in next week for the grand finale. It's the business, and we're only halfway through.
50.
Like 50-50.
Percentage, boy.
That's right,
Oh,
Dipset.
she's got it.
She's
She's
got it.
one half a dozen the other. That's right.
Now we go over to the studios of ITN for the latest national and international news headlines.
Thousands of police will patrol Portadown in Northern Ireland today following the ban on loyalists marching through a nationalist area. The same march last year led to 3 days of trouble. This year local residents campaigned for a stop. Tens of thousands of people attended a festival in London celebrating 25 years of gay rights campaigning. It started with a spectacular and extravagant march through the capital and ended with a huge free pop concert on Clapham Common. Steffi Graf cruised to a comfortable 7th title at Wimbledon, beating Spain's Arantxa Sánchez Vicario for the 2nd consecutive time. And what's more, the sun shone throughout as she beat her 6-3, 7-5. Nigel Benn hinted he'd be retiring from boxing after limping out of his WBO super middleweight challenge against Ireland's Steve Collins. The bout only made it 4 rounds at Manchester's 9X Arena last night when Benn twisted his ankle badly. No one won this week's £11 million lottery jackpot, so next week's a rollover. The numbers were 13, 26, 43, 44, 45 and 47, and the bonus was 36. And that's the news for now. We're back later.
Outrageous pillow talk now as Katie Puckrick and her star guest host a slumber party for grown-ups. Pop videos and late-night confessions at the Pajama Party.
When the moon is up and the sun is down, just grab the girls and come around. Hey, glamour puss, hey, smarty, come to my pajama party. When the neighborhood gets off to bed, get off your sleepy head instead. Forget those melodramas, and don't forget to bring pajamas. There's all kind of things like how to lose those boyfriend blues with chocolate cake and karate at my pajama party. Come to my pajama party.
There is a party going on around here because the bachelorette pad is crammed to the gills with girls. I'm Katie Puckrick, and my best gal pals in the entire world are Claudia Winkleman and Michelle Kelly. We're celebrating along with Kool and the Gang with their big old hit from 1980, Celebrate! Who is on the party tonight? You're at the party tonight, but we also have my in-house songbirds, the Sound Superb Singers. We also have my special bride-to-be tonight. She's called Sharon. But first, before all of that happens, my special pajama party guest, the lead singer from those sassy pop throbs, Saint Etienne, Sarah Cracknell. Thank you. Over to the nook, little lady, I think. Just take a seat here. I see nothing but sparkles and marabou and
all that kind of glitter.
This is an effort.
It is, isn't it?
You are involved.
Yes, well, I wear this all the time at home, you know.
I believe you.
Doing the dusting and all that.
And when you're not dusting, do you get together with your girlfriends? On a Saturday night?
All the time. I'm very girlfriend orientated.
Are you?
I've got lots of really close female friends, and I don't know what I'd do without them. Yeah, no, we go out and raise hell and drink too much, smoke loads of bags, drink loads of white wine, and talk until 6 o'clock in the morning.
And if any guys kind of try and creep in on the action, do you allow them to?
I don't think we've noticed them. Do you know what I mean?
You just tune them out.
Yeah, like what?
Away.
Go away. You know, one of those.
I'm so glad you came over tonight to the bachelorette pad because I wanted to know, how do you pronounce Saint Etienne? Is it Saint Etienne or Saint Etienne?
Do you know, I really don't know.
Because
I mean, we call it Saint Etienne, but that's because we're Philistines and we don't know how to pronounce it properly.
And who is this Saint Steve guy? He's French, presumably.
He got stoned to death, apparently.
Oh.
And I'm not quite sure why. I think he was vaguely controversial at some point on some issue. I don't know what. And they stoned him to death.
And that's kind of a funny title for a pop group, wouldn't you say?
I would think so, yes.
You don't do things the
we
easy
get
way.
stoned to death all the time.
No,
so
you don't. How did you got discovered though in a weird way as the lead singer? Because your bandmates, Pete and Bob, they happened upon you in an unusual way. How was that?
In Burger King.
And what were you doing?
I was singing in the toilet next door.
You were in the toilet next door to the burger joint.
I think I was singing that song from Bambi, you know, drip, drip, drop, little April showers. and they heard me, and I met them. But they actually sort of knew about me anyway, because I'd done a record with a friend of mine, and they'd heard that as well.
So they were munching into the burger, they heard drip, drip, drop, and they thought, let's crash the women's loo.
Yeah.
Because there is our future star.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
That's stunning, that's stunning. Now, you've been all around the world by now with your happy little pop group. And you've been to Japan, is that right?
A lot, been to Japan a few times.
And you picked up the lingo, I understand, some of the lingo in Japan. Can you tell me a story?
I made a dreadful faux pas in Japan.
What happened?
It was in Tokyo, and somebody told me that cheers was, I can't exactly remember, but it was something like ham pie or something like that. And I didn't say that, I said cam pie, or the other way around, not realising that it actually meant tits. And so I stood on stage and I said welcome, you know, and all this in Japanese, and then I went tits in Japanese, and they just all like looked at me. And
all right.
They were astounded.
That is my new catchphrase, tits. Okay, well, when in doubt, tits, okay? That's the new motto. So the thing is, what we like to find out on Pajama Party is how much men and women really know about each other, and we do that with a section called His and Hers.
That is very correct. It's his and hers time. Amanda, welcome. How well do you know Stephen?
Incredibly well.
Incredibly well. How long have you been with him?
2 years.
You know his body parts?
Inside out.
Nostril hairs?
Everything.
Bottom?
Everything.
Knees?
Everything.
The whole shebang?
Everything.
Should we put it to the test? I think we should. We'll just see how well you know your boys. Let's bring them in through the door. And you come, Stephen, Pete, and Daniel. Woo! Aren't they delightful? Delightful. Down they come. And you sure you know him?
Definitely.
You're not nervous because they've got the same sort of bodies. We like them, we like them. All right, now, Amanda's going to try this out. You're going to come round here with me, this attractive Blackpool woman, we thought she looked like you, and put your arms through. Now, Amanda, it's important you don't cheat. Can you see everything?
Nothing.
You can see nothing?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Fantastic. I'm going to sing over here. Hurrah. Stephen,
Yeah.
do you think Amanda knows you well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Extremely well, yeah.
Now, what are you going to do if she gets it wrong?
I think I'll give her an extremely hard spanking tonight.
That makes us all want to do wrong things, Stephen, let me tell you.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
All right, so we're going to try out the body parts. Boys, can you jingle around? Jingle, jingle, jingle. Swap places, swap places, swap the places. Excellent. All right, we're going to feel pectorals, bosoms, nipples, and as Katie said, tits. Okay, man number one, please go and get felt up. Okay, not too rude, not too rude. Thank you very much. Man number one. Man number two, please go. Nipples are erect. Fantastic. Oh, nice feel. Okay, thank you, man number two. And man number three, go and have your pectorals felt. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, Amanda, do you know or are you not sure?
Not sure.
You're not sure? I bet you're not sure. You want to do a bit more groping.
Just a little lower, maybe, a little lower.
Okay, I would like to ask you boys, how do you feel about buttocks being felt?
Ooh.
I love my buttocks being felt.
Yeah, is there nothing you'd rather do?
Nothing at all.
Saturday night, okay, change places, please. Jingle, jingle, change places, jingle, jingle. All right, buttocks number one, perch them, prepare. In you go. Hop, whoop. All right, thank you very much. God, he's enjoying it. Man number two, in you go. Pant away. All right, thank you very much. And man number three, please. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you very much. Amanda, who are you going to go for? Amanda?
Number two.
You're going to go for number two? Come out, and let me show you the one you picked. Man number two. What are you going to do?
One person.
Please. You just want a spanking, don't you? All right, you two boys, out the French windows, I'm afraid. Boys are not allowed. Boyfriend, Stephen, come over here. Give her a little spank. Go on, go on, go on. Just a little one. Just a little one. All right. romantic, his and hers. How well do you know your man or woman? Well,
I thought.
Not very well.
Thought.
Not well.
That's
no.
sad.
Never mind. Off they go. Embrace anyway. That was his and hers, Katie. I think that was sort of medieval.
Well,
sort of strange.
It's sort of confusing, really.
It is confusing. I don't think we've learned very much from that, but it was very entertaining. We're going to be looking at a video of one of your singles. He's on the phone with
right.
Etienne Daho.
No.
Who's he? Who is he?
He's an amazing geezer from France, who's a pop star in France, and a very down-to-earth, very likeable chap, actually.
And how did you hook up with him?
He came to one of our gigs in Paris, and we met him. And he said, "Do you want to do a record?" And we went, "Yeah."
And he went.
And we went, "Who are you?"
Let's go to the burger joint toilet.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something.
Do some vocals.
Well, let's see you in action in the video. He's on the phone.
He's on the phone, and she wants to go home. Shoes in hand to make a sound. It's time to go.